AI music is being tracked, regulated, and even banned on some platforms, while AI music generators keep growing in popularity. Suno AI just crossed 100 million users. Google launched its own AI music model. Spotify and Universal Music are working on a feature to allow users to make AI covers of real artists' songs. And lawsuits against Suno keep piling up. And this summer, a major court ruling could help decide the future of AI music forever. So yeah, grab your coffee, because I'm about to break down everything happening in AI music right now and what all of this actually means for you. Let me start with the big picture. AI music is not a toy anymore. Suno AI just crossed 100 million users. 100 million people using one AI music platform. To put that in perspective, that's more users than Spotify had in its first decade. Suno is also making serious money. They did $150 million in revenue in 2025. 25 million just in February of 2026 alone. They have 2 million paying subscribers. Great numbers. But here's the problem. Every new technology creates two groups of people, creators and exploiters. Creators are using AI music to experiment new genres, make songs, and express ideas that they never could before. While exploiters just want one thing, easy money. The same people already generating fake streams before AI now suddenly have access to a machine that could mass produce songs at ridiculous scale. Hundreds, thousands, endless uploads creating AI slop. Low effort tracks designed to game the algorithm instead of making actual music. So guess what happened? It obviously drew a lot of attention towards AI music. And someone had to put a stop to this, or at least regulate it so that it's not flooding all the streaming platforms. Bandcamp, one of the platforms taking the hardest stance, basically said, nope, not here. And outright banned music that is fully or substantially AI generated, along with AI impersonation of artists. Meanwhile, Deezer, one of the big streaming platforms, says that 44% of all new music being uploaded to them is AI generated. That's nearly half of all new uploads. Deezer, instead of banning AI music, they started detecting it. They built systems to identify AI generated tracks and limit spammy uploads. And then there's Spotify, arguably taking the most controversial approach. They're not banning AI music. Instead, they're exploring licensed AI agreements with major record labels. Because here's the undeniable truth. AI music isn't going away. The genie is already out of the bottle. Everyone wants a piece of AI music and all the money that it generates. On May 21st, 2026, Spotify and Universal Music announced a deal that lets Spotify Premium subscribers create AI-generated covers and remixes of participating artists' songs. Meaning artists opt in, fans pay extra, and musicians earn revenue when people remix their songs. Will Taylor Swift, Billie Eilish, Kendrick Lamar, and other artists opt in for this? We don't know that yet. But here's where things get interesting. Because Spotify is trying to position this as the good version of AI music, an alternative to what they call AI slop. But in my opinion, this could also open a giant Pandora's box, because Spotify reportedly described this system as something that could make one song become 10,000. Think about what that means for a second. Imagine one Taylor Swift song suddenly spawning thousands of fan-made remixes. Metal versions, Bollywood versions, sad piano versions, all generated instantly. This would create remix slop. Because the problem is this: what happens if Spotify starts getting flooded with AI remixes? And this leaves no room for upcoming artists who have no intentions of remixing existing songs or don't have deals with major record labels. AI songs are already so much better. What if AI-generated versions begin competing with the original songs? This could create a vicious cycle where artists feel forced to participate, not because they want to, but because if they don't, somebody else's AI content starts dominating the platform. Welcome to the weirdest timeline in music history. The same industry that spent years fighting piracy is now trying to monetize AI-generated remixes before somebody else does. And AI covers have been insanely popular on social media, with videos getting millions of views on YouTube and TikTok. So Spotify and Universal Music are definitely hopping on the trend. Suno AI has a covers feature that allows you to upload any song and convert it into any genre while keeping the same melody. Well, guess what? The exploiters started misusing this Suno feature to upload copyrighted songs to Suno to create those famous 1950s soul versions of popular songs. To stop this, Suno partnered with Audible Magic to use their content identification and rights management technology to block any user uploads that are not original content. Apparently, exploiters found ways to bypass that system, and were making AI covers anyway. So Suno pushed an update recently to add more filters, but ended up breaking their upload system, and now it's blocking many user uploads even if they are original, messing up the feature for genuine users. As of today, there's still no ETA on when this will be fixed. Suno AI is in chaos. With so many lawsuits happening right now, it gets confusing fast. So let's pause for a second and actually map out who is suing who settled, who's still fighting, and which lawsuits actually matter right now. The big three record labels, Universal Music Group, Warner Music Group, and Sony Music, sued both Suno and Udio, claiming that these AI music generators were trained on copyrighted music without permission from artists or labels. That's the core battle. Now let's talk about settlements. First, Universal Music settled with Udio in late 2025. And this changed everything. You can watch this detailed video on our channel to understand how it all started. Because after the settlement, Udio basically became what people call a walled garden, meaning you can still create music, but you can't download or export songs from the platform. Instead, Universal and Udio are working on a platform called Starstruck, which will be a mobile app used by everyday fans rather than producers or professional artists. It will have 4 modes. Cover mode, imagine a Lady Gaga song in the style of Billie Eilish. Reimagine mode, same lyrics, completely different composition. Remix mode, genre swaps and stylistic transformations of existing tracks. And create mode, where users write their own lyrics but pair them with an artist's approved AI voice under strict guardrails. But there's a catch. The generated song would be owned by the rights holder of the participating artist. In other words, the fan would not own what they create on Starstruck. They would be paying for the right to create and listen inside Udio's controlled environment. Basically, it feels like pay us to remix our catalog inside our sandbox so that we can make money for record labels. Let me know in the comments what you think about Starstruck. Then, Warner Music settled with Suno in November 2025. Big, multi-million-dollar settlement, licensing partnership. And Suno even acquired Songkick from Warner as part of the deal. I actually made an entire deep dive video breaking this down, so you can check that out after this video. Warner also settled with Udio at the same time and signed a licensing agreement with them. Now, here's where things get serious, because not everybody settled. Sony Music is still actively suing both Suno and Udio. Universal Music is still suing Suno, and these cases matter a lot, because what happens next could literally define the future of AI music. One of the biggest legal questions right now is this: can AI companies legally train on copyrighted music under fair use? That ruling could decide what every future AI music company is allowed or not allowed to do. If courts say training without permission is legal, AI music companies explode. If courts say it isn't, the entire AI music industry changes overnight. And here's where things get messy. Universal Music reportedly wants Suno to move toward a more controlled, permission-based system similar to what they did with Udio. Suno apparently isn't thrilled about that idea, and if Suno agrees to lockdown, they will instantly lose all users, making it a graveyard in just a few weeks. And to make it worse, there's a new lawsuit against Suno from Poseidon Wave Media. But the bigger story here is that this isn't just a battle between AI companies and record labels anymore. Independent musicians, collecting societies, and artist groups around the world are now filing their own cases. The fight isn't just labels versus AI anymore. The world's largest musicians union, the American Federation of Musicians, is now suing Universal and Warner, claiming they allowed Suno and Udio to train on musicians' recordings without paying the musicians themselves. So what does all of this mean to you if you're using Suno AI? And what should you do? Suno AI is running version 5.5 right now. Great model. You can watch the full breakdown on the model in this video right here to see everything that it can do. But because of the deal with Warner Music, Suno is training a model with their artist catalog. And once that model is trained and ready, Suno will eventually sunset all the older models to remove all the unlicensed training data in those models. In Suno's recent announcement of $400 million in Series D funding at a $5.4 billion valuation, the company said that over the coming months, it will begin rolling out its first music model developed in partnership with the music industry. So if there's an older Suno model you absolutely love using right now, make the best use of it, because those older models may not be around for much longer. And obviously, not everyone is using Suno AI to generate AI slop. Some are using Suno with their own lyrics, their own melodies, using it just like any other tool for music production. And if you're looking for a music distributor for publishing your Suno AI songs on Spotify, YouTube Music, TikTok, and all other platforms, I would suggest that you use DistroKid. They're the only major music distribution platform that's allowing AI music. They have added some new options to allow you to choose if the song was entirely AI generated or was AI just a part of it, like vocals, melody, etc. Other major music distribution platforms like TuneCore are actively blocking Suno AI songs, citing they don't allow music created with unlicensed AI music generators. And finally, I would suggest that you don't put all your eggs in one basket, meaning don't depend entirely on Suno AI for your music production. There are many Suno AI alternatives out there that you can try right now. And you can watch this video next to see all the new features in other AI music generators and open source alternatives. Hope you like this video. Comment what you think of this chaos. And subscribe to the channel if you want to stay updated on everything that happens in the world of AI music.